Right, welcome to Niblet's Reviews. We're going to be doing the TAR-21. It seems to get a mixed press, this gun. Some people really like it, others think it's not too bad, and a great many people think it is really shit. Going to take an AK-74 along at the same time. There's a bit of backup, got my standard kind of 20% speed gear on. Got a Wave Rider here. So obviously stats for the gun, 39, which is kind of on the, I'd say, the low side for an assault rifle if you compare that to something like the AK-74 or G36. Stats for this gun, it's kind of hard to find something that's the equivalent. It's better stats than, say, the ordinary FAMAS, but the FAMAS G2 SE is exactly the same, apart from having 3 more portability. So, I mean, as you can see, the gun's pretty good up close. It seems to do enough damage in order to kill those 4 guys there, although they seem to be standing around a little bit. I'll try and give you a little bit of a taste of what it's like with the iTech, hopefully soon, once my team has stopped base raping. And oh dear me. Right, a couple of more of the stats. Portability 57, doesn't feel particularly slow. It's going to die at 1 HP. Rate of fire 74. Now that surprised me. To me it sounds like the AK-74 fires faster, but the TAR-21 sounds a bit laboured, but it's got 4 more rate of fire than an AK-74, so it's a bit unusual. Accuracy 86 compared to, say, the 90 of a 74M. With the iTech, which comes built in, by the way, I didn't add this on myself, it's reasonable. To be honest, I think it pulls slightly less than the AK-74, but the spread pattern can be quite random. It can suddenly decide that it wants to pull really quite a lot, which makes controlling it sometimes a little bit difficult. So anyway, so you can see it under iTech there. You can control it over kind of the medium distance. Recoil 68. It kicks up a little bit more than that. Sorry, if you compare that to the AK-74, which is the same stats. Also the G36 seemed to kick up less as well. Damage over time is a little low at 28.9. So here we have a 4-way recoil test between TAR-21 top left, AK-74M bottom left. Top right you can see FAMAS G2 SE, and bottom right you can see a G36E. Now you can see that the TAR-21's got quite a random pattern. It tends to kick up quite a lot, and when you analyse it, it does jump around quite a lot. I think the straightest you can see there sort of is the G2 SE, G36E, and the AK-74 seem to be a bit tighter than the TAR-21 as well. Again, same stats as a FAMAS G2 SE, and I am aware that 2 of the guns that I keep quoting are Tour NX, and only one is another GP gun. However, I'm using what I've got in my inventory, so we'll just have to make do. Gun doesn't feel too bad. The iTech seems to suit it. The spread pattern can be a little bit frustrating at times. After using the gun with a tight spread, you can I could imagine you could get very easily annoyed with this, because sometimes when you're chasing someone and you're trying to shoot them, you can't help but feel that you'd kill them a few shots earlier with something like the AK-74. So I just entered another 40 kill game straight after the Wave Rider changed it to Overdose, and as I was saying, it takes all sorts of guns. This one, I don't mind actually. It hasn't got the same tightness in the spread under full auto that I'd kind of expect from some of the other assault rifles, and like there, you kind of think that, you know, you can blame your aim to a certain extent, but the spread sometimes feels a little bit hard to control. But I think it's worth getting used to. It's not a very commonly used gun, in my opinion. You don't see an awful lot of these. This and the MTAR as well. And I think it is because of the spread. A lot of people don't like it. But I'm finding it fairly manageable. We got a 10-2 on the last game. Honestly, finding it hard to find someone to... There we go. You can see the iTech. It probably helps quite a lot. So I kind of like that addition. I'm quite glad it hasn't got something like an ACOG. If we can just test that out again. Ooh, dying horribly. Have an aid. Right, down to 11 HP, so I doubt that I'm going to last an awful lot longer. We can try and get another kill. As my teammate Rambo is... Whoops. Anyway, compare this gun. I use the AK-74M, I'd say a lot, the SOT mod a lot. XM8 is another favourite of mine. Compare this to that sort of gun. I'd say the spread is a lot more difficult to get used to. iTech seems to help this gun more than others that I've seen. But again, if it looks alright, doesn't feel too slow. If you can control that spread, you know, you can have quite a lot of joy. And you know, this is it's definitely not a boring gun, because it in itself is making it quite hard to use. I'd say because of the spread, you have to work that little bit harder to get your kills. So it's more satisfying when you actually get them. To me, it looks like quite a small gun. I would have expected slightly higher portability because of that, but you know, I'm guessing physics and Nexon don't quite agree, or it's, you know, made of stones or something. I'm not entirely sure. So just got killed by Blacktop. So overall, don't think this is, you know, my favourite SMG of all time. SMG assault rifle of all time, but I was expecting it to be a lot worse, to be honest. As I said, not really used this an awful lot, and
round start.
At the moment I'm kind of liking it, to be honest. As I said, it's going to make you work for your kills. That spread pattern is interesting at times. Let's just get an nade down there. I expect this. Yeah, here it comes. I think Blacktop's UMP 45ing it today, so you got to be. I mean, that's a really good weapon, so you've got to kind of be careful. So you can see even under iTech, it can be a little bit random. Does make you work for what you're going to get. Up close, however, it's pretty good. Let's see if we can find a few more people to kill. Oh, we're down to 18 bullets. Means we've probably been alive for quite a long time, or the kind of recoil is. Oh no, headshot, bastard. Anyway, right, yeah. So the damage over time on this gun is a little bit down. I'd guess at 28.9, but I mean. It's not really, not brilliantly noticeable. I mean, I'm not sure whether to blame my aiming or the spread. I'm trying to compensate quite a lot as I'm going along. So you know, it could be pretty much either. Whoa, I should have killed him as well. Whoa. The headshot. Anyway, yeah, I'm kind of enjoying TAR 21. That the recoil, the sound from it does sound slightly slow, which I'm still a bit surprised at, because it's actually faster than the 74M. But you listen, it thud 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 thud, right? Compared to, you know, I don't know, 74M seems faster to me. But anyway, that's not what the stats say, so... woo, big explosions. See, I mean, it's usable. I mean, I know a couple of members of my clan really hate this gun. But to be honest, I'm not finding it too bad. So if you fancy something slightly different... not a headshot. If you fancy something slightly different, makes you work for your kills a little bit, that looks fairly decent to be honest, then the TAR 21 could be for you. So with that, I think the game's just about to end, and it does. So yeah, well, thanks for listening.